What's up, people? We're going to talk some boxing. I am what you need. You can always donate to my channel via Western Union or MoneyGram online. I can give you the details. So smash that like button. Subscribe if you like. And you can donate to my channel. We're going to talk a little bit of boxing because that's what I do. I try to, share what I know about boxing with people as I learn about boxing. All right, this morning I did a little exercise. Still got to go back and do some more exercise and take a bath and get it on my day. But a certain question really got my attention from Intangible Boxing, also known as Jackson the Hopeful, where he said that someone somewhere on a channel, you can always let me know who exactly, did a video stating that Froch is a better boxer than Joel Calzaghe. Now, honestly speaking, you have to take what the guy is saying into context. He also said, he examined the resumes as well. Better is not the same as greater. I keep on explaining this to people. Better is not the same as greater. They're not the same thing. I will give you some examples. My first example is Oscar De La Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, if you ask me who's the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, most of you guys will say, without even batting an eye, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. In other words, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a greater boxer than Oscar De La Hoya. However, on further examination, you will learn that Oscar De La Hoya beat Julio Cesar Chavez twice in the ring. Not only did he beat him twice, but he showed that he could outbox him and beat him up. So therefore, Oscar showed in the ring that he's a better boxer than Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And if that wasn't enough, Oscar also accomplished far more than Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. did, being a 6th divisional weight champion, where Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. only was able to do from super featherweight to super lightweight, super featherweight, lightweight, super lightweight. He was a 3-divisional world champion. And then Oscar faced the who's who of the welterweight division, the who's who of the lightweight division, the who's who of the super lightweight division, legends and all that kind of stuff. Just as Julio Cesar Chavez did. And so when you look at that and you put all of that into context, actually the better boxer of the two is Oscar De La Hoya. And that is why greater and better are not the same. Greater is determined by people and their consensus and who a boxer is, the mystique around them, their resume as well, and what they've done in the ring, but also their perception of them outside of the ring. This is why my second example, which is Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali, again fulfills what I'm talking about. Technically speaking, Larry Holmes is a much better boxer than Muhammad Ali was. Much better, technically. And he proved it by beating Muhammad Ali in the ring. Some people say, oh, Muhammad Ali. Okay. When you look at their resumes, Larry Holmes' resume is very, very impressive. Not only did he box for longer than Muhammad Ali, but he beat guys, in a very impressive fashion for a very long time. In fact, he almost met Rocky Marciano's record, beating the who's who of boxing, until some people think he was robbed when he faced Michael Spinks. Nonetheless, Michael Spinks did beat him in the rematch. The thing about it is, Larry Holmes had a long, very successful career. So did Muhammad Ali. But when it comes to looking at them in the ring, which it comes down to, their resumes are somewhat comparable, because you have to look at the longevity of Larry Holmes versus the incredible level of competition that Muhammad Ali did in his time. But even so, and the wins he had, even so, Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali, when you look at it, you have to base it down to what happened in the ring. Who would beat who? And Larry Holmes would beat Muhammad Ali in the ring. They have more or less comparable resumes in a certain respect, because Larry Holmes beat a lot of people, and then he went into another generation of fighters. He beat a lot of them. So you have to look at that. Muhammad Ali mostly beat his generation of fighters. When he moved into a new generation, it was very difficult for him. So when you look at those kinds of criteria, the resumes, based on their boxing styles, how complete a fighter they were. Larry Holmes obviously was the better fighter. But in all of sports, the greatest in all of sports is Muhammad Ali. He's very popular. He's very well known because, again, it's a perception of him, not just inside the ring and his aura, but also outside of the ring and what he brought to the sport and also what he brought beyond the sport. And so Muhammad Ali in all sports is probably the greatest to ever do any sport, right? So I just wanted to clarify the difference between the greatest and the difference between the best. When you're talking about the best in boxing, you're talking about the best in boxing, period. When you're talking about the greatest in boxing, you're involving a lot of other factors, including public perception. It's not just based, it's the fans determine who the greatest is. But I can tell you for a fact, facts determine who's the better boxer. All right? So I just wanted to make that clear again, because when we're looking at and we'll be comparing Joe Calzaghe to Carl Froch, of which both of them I'm not fans of them, neither of their styles. I really wasn't. But I'm being fair to them. You can be guaranteed of that. When you look at them and you pair them up, now you have to ask yourself, first of all, in the ring, who you think would beat who. And two, when you look at their resumes, are their resumes comparable? What does Carl Froch have over Joe Calzaghe? What does Joe Calzaghe have over Carl Froch? So these are the kinds of things you have to look at. So resume-wise, as well as in the ring-wise, you're looking at who's better. That's basically how it goes with better. But when it comes to greater, which is what a lot of you, I saw a comment and we said there's no comparison. Well, obviously, Calzaghe is greater than Carl Froch, okay? Mainly because of his undefeated career and then the incredible things and exciting fights that he had and all those other intangibles that go into it. The people esteem him much higher on the bar than Carl Froch, and that's what it is. All right? So we'll go into that. Now, as we're talking about better and greater, there was a statement made by Sergey Kovalev very recently, and he said that Canelo is a real warrior. He's a real fighter, unlike Andre Ward. I found that hilarious, and so I just wanted to talk about that. One, Canelo's style of fighting is very similar to Andre Ward's style of fighting. Canelo and Andre Ward come from the same school of fighting. Canelo throws more combinations, but they come from the same school of fighting. Canelo is moving up in weight to face Kovalev. Andre Ward moved up in weight to face Kovalev. And here's another salient point that I think Sergey should really keep his mouth shut because he doesn't really know who he's really facing. Canelo is but one relationship away from Bernard Hopkins, who Kovalev beat. Bernard Hopkins is one relationship away from Andre Ward. In fact, Hopkins and Ward made an agreement that they wouldn't face each other in boxing because they had such a close-knit career with each other. You know, Hopkins being a mentor to Ward and Ward looking up to Hopkins and all of that. So, what Kovalev has just done is triggered a reaction in the reaction chain. He doesn't know it, but Ward is but 2 links away from Canelo. He's but just 2 steps away from Canelo. You know? So when you say something about Andre Ward, what are you really saying about Canelo? Yes, you're backhandedly not really praising Canelo. You're actually bashing him. Andre Ward laid the blueprint on how to beat Sergey Kovalev, which Canelo will take advantage of. So by Sergey Kovalev opening his big ass and saying what he's saying, he's actually ensuring an even worse beating. Because Canelo hasn't said anything on that, and Canelo won't. And you have to understand, Canelo looks up to, well, he used to. He's no longer. He's a star. But he used to look up to those kinds of boxers. Canelo used to watch those kinds of boxers. Floyd, Ward, Hopkins. If you look at Canelo's fighting style, it is actually more of a pot-shotting style than it is a combinational fighting style. He'll crash your ass later on, but he's really a pot-shotter. So, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard threw a jab at Buddy McGirt very recently, talking about how he was able to take out Donnie Lalonde to the body. And Buddy McGirt was in a pause moment for a minute. And Buddy was trying to sell it, everything comes off the jab and you have to keep it basic. And I'm not saying no. The jab is one of the most important punches in boxing. But you better have something else for Canelo. You better have something else in the tank. Nope, not. Your power right ain't going to do shit to Canelo, because guess what? He knows that if you throw a jab, a right hand will come behind the jab, because the jab is a finder. So he expects that combination. He even expects that if you throw a hard right, that a jab can come off to the right, because you start and finish every combination with a jab. So Canelo's counting on those things. You guys understand? It's going to be a beatdown. I'm telling you. And I don't know if Sergey Kovalev was trying to kiss Canelo's ass so that he would get beat up even more. But it's not working. And you ticking off, trying to tick off Andre Ward to get and praise Canelo is one of the dumbest ass things you could do. Because guess what? Canelo is close to Hopkins. And he's basically going to avenge Hopkins' loss. Hopkins is close to Andre Ward. That's a stupid thing to do, man. You got to look down the chain, motherfucker, before you talk. Not to mention, Kovalev throwing shots at Andre Ward. Andre Ward would beat Kovalev and Canelo in the same night. Then right off into the sunset. You know what I'm saying? That's the wrongest guy to be trying to bait, man. And it's the wrongest guy to even try to fight. The dude fought you twice. Beat your ass twice. Okay, according to the judges. What do you want to do? You got your ass because of him. Because of him, you've been found out. That's why we even having this Canelo fight. Because of Andre Ward. So, you should stop being a bitch. Kyle Froch is the same thing. He's sour as shit about Andre Ward because he got his ass beat by a guy who was beating him with one hand. Ain't that a messed up? Ain't that a bitch? At least Ward had two hands against Sergey Kovalev, but against Kyle Froch, he only had one hand. His other hand was fucked up. That's why when I hear people talk about Manny Pacquiao facing Floyd with one hand, I'm laughing. I said, well, why didn't he win the fight? Ward did it. Floyd did it against Castillo. Why didn't he win the fight? Get the win, and then you can make all the excuses in the world. But get the fucking W. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. A true champion fights through anything, man. Ain't no fucking excuses. Keith Thurman didn't make no excuses when he lost to you. And he had all the reason to make excuses. He could have said, man, I threw more punches than Pacquiao. I beat his ass. I beat him in more rounds than he beat me. I beat him. He could have argued that. At least it should have been a draw. He could have said that. He didn't do. He gave Pacquiao all the credit in the world. When the fight was over against Pacquiao versus Floyd, I'm going to rub it in on y'all ass. When the fight was over, the first thing Pacquiao said, I thought I won the fight. And then he said he didn't do nothing. He never gave Floyd the credit he deserved. It was poor sportsmanship. You could say you thought they won the fight. Pacquiao had been gracious through all the other fights, but Floyd got to him. He got to him on this fight. Got to him. Stink. I remember after the 10th round when he shook his head and just beat his gloves, like, fuck, I can't touch him. I can't get him. I can't get that motherfucker. I can't get him. And then Floyd came back and mocked that in the 11th round. And that cut Pacquiao to his heart. That was the greatest fight. That was supposed to be the greatest fight in 100 years. It was the fight of the century. Forgot that? Oh, that's why Pacquiao fans right now, some of y'all salty as fuck. Talking all kinds of shit. Y'all can't come to terms with it. I know it hit the Philippines hard, but come on, man. It might hit y'all guys hard. It might even hit most of Asia, some of y'all Asians hard. And obviously it hit some of them racist haters hard. Some of y'all motherfucking white racist haters. I know y'all. I see y'all all over the place. I even see some of y'all left YouTube and never came back. Y'all now popping back on the scene because Pacquiao beat Thurman. Yeah. But, you know, my thing is this, though. I told you my favorite fight in all history is Floyd versus Pacquiao. I rub it in y'all ass. I'm going to rub it every single day. Canelo versus GGG. I'm going to rub it in y'all ass every single day. Right? Y'all gave these guys undue praise. Y'all never really truly evaluated the fighters. Y'all was up their ass sucking their dick and all that shit. So I'm going to rub it in y'all ass. Y'all can call me Flomo, whatever. I'm going to rub it in y'all ass. I'm going to rub it every single day. Every single day I can remind you guys of that, I'll remind you. And, of course, I would love to see a rematch between Mayweather and Pacquiao. I'd love to see it. I don't even care if Mayweather loses. I'd love to see it. Because I'm not like y'all. I'm not like y'all. I'm not a fanboy that lick people's ass. But I will refer to them just to get in your ass. Just to make sure you get ticked off. Fuck yeah. I do it. I do it every single day. All day. Yeah. Yeah. Like Floyd would say, yeah. There's a dude, I forgot what his name is. I'm subscribed to his channel. He do these little computer generated memes with MMA and shit. And he be mocking Floyd. And it'd be great. I like it. With Conor McGregor and with the recent Pacquiao versus Thurman fight. You know what I'm saying? Funny as fuck, man. And y'all don't like that kind of shit. Y'all don't like that I clown y'all ass with Floyd. Y'all don't even like that I talk about Floyd. Y'all be ready. Oh, you're a Flomo and stuff. Hybrid 95 winning on me. You're a Flomo. So I pulled him up. I said, hey, so why am I a Flomo? Come on, hit me. Hit me. Why am I a Flomo? I confronted his ass. He had nothing to say. Nothing. Yeah, of course I'm a Floyd Mayweather Jr. fan. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Man was the greatest boxer. Not the greatest boxer, but he was the best boxer of his era. Not this era, because this is a different era. Of his era. He was the best boxer of his era, not the greatest. I never said he was the greatest. He was the best boxer of his era. You know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't got a problem saying that. You know, Boxing Librarian tried to make me into Flomo. He trying to discredit my ass. But Boxing Librarian is so far removed from reality. Talking about how, you know, Jack Johnson's era, you know, the black thing wasn't the big issue. Man, far removed from reality, man. This man ain't know shit about reality. He know everything from what the historians told. That motherfucker don't even watch fights. You know, I don't mind dissing his ass. You know, how you could have Harry Crabb as your favorite boxer and you ain't seen the majority of his fucking fights. Man, get the fuck out of here. So, you know, we got these jokers out here that try to throw things at What You Need. You know, What You Need wasn't on that beat. He wasn't on slapping these motherfuckers left, right, and center. He wasn't on that. What You Need was just doing his thing, staying in his lane. You know what I'm saying? And then you funky ass motherfuckers had to come rolling up on What You Need. Why? Huh? What You Need? I wasn't even trying to fuck with y'all. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay in my lane. I ain't gonna start. What You Need? Y'all don't know what the kind of motherfucker I am. I'm trouble. I'm a lot of trouble. I start shit. Anyway, man, y'all have a good one. I have fun with y'all. You know, 68 what is it? Scrapbook. 68 scrapbook. I like 68 scrapbook. I like how he defended Eddie Hearn for a minute. He said, I'm gonna talk about this shit. He said, man, if you take Eddie Hearn out of the game, you're gonna have them competitive fights anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know, he clowned Al Heyman. He said, why y'all call him Uncle Al, man? What the fuck? He said Mayweather's promotional company, they still looking for the next Mayweather. You know, he's saying when you think about it, the Zone and Eddie Hearn have been giving you consistently competitive fights. And it's true. And I truly believe this. I'm not an Eddie Hearn fan like that. But my eyes show me one thing. You know, you mean you got to pay for the subscription, but other than that, the fights are competitive. And it's good-ass fighters fighting good-ass fighters. I like that. Now, the PBC on Fox is free, but a lot of the high-profile fights are not necessarily competitive. They had Pacquiao versus Thurman. That was a competitive fight, right? But fucking Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence wasn't that competitive. Come on, right? They had a couple really good like championship fights. You know, you had Jamal Charles versus Harrison, and that was a good ass fucking fight. You know, and most people picked Charlo to win, right? We had J Rock versus Jarrett Hurd. That was a good fight. You know what I mean? We had Wilder. Well, that was on Showtime, so we forget about that one. But it was a PBC fight nonetheless. Wilder versus Tyson Fury. That was an exciting fucking fight. You know what I mean? But when you look at it in terms of, I mean, they do free fights, so that's a little bit different. But ESPN be giving us shit day in, day out. ESPN is the shittiest fucking sport boxing channel of them all. And their pay-per-views are shitty. You know what I'm saying? The Zone runs things. You do a subscription, you know, what is it, $10, $20 a month or whatever, or a year or whatever. You getting real good fights for that. Real good fucking fights for that. You know? And the thing about it is, it's not pay-per-view. So, where HBO fell short, where Showtime fell short, because you got to do a subscription for Showtime too. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you got to pay pay-per-view. So, the Zone's trumping Showtime every single time out. Right? Because you're getting consistent, top quality, top tier fights almost every weekend. Right? ESPN is the shittiest of them all. And then you got PBC, which, okay, they give you some free fights like ESPN, you know, and some of them free fights are damn good, and they're championship fights and shit. And then they have the pay-per-views, and they kind of up and down with the pay-per-views. They do good pay-per-view numbers, but not all the fights are competitive, right? So, I mean, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You know, that's what I'm talking about with you guys. And, you know, Eddie Hearn, if Eddie Hearn wasn't in the sport of boxing, man, boxing would be so shitty dead, it would be dead right now. Right? You got yourself, you got a PBC fighter in Andy Ruiz, who faced Anthony Joshua and created the upset in the last 20, 30 years. The greatest upset in the heavyweight division in a long time. Right? Not to mention there was a number of upsets this year, which was great. Great for boxing. Right? DAZN gave you the Canelo versus Danny Jacobs fight. And that was a fucking competitive fight. People were thinking it was a 50-50. I thought it was a 60-40. It turned out to be a 60-40. Good ass fight. Right? Canelo's going to be facing Kovalev. And for many of you, that's a good ass fight. I don't think so, but that's what many of you think. And if many of you think so, then that's what it is. DAZN keep on giving you fights that are tantalizing. That's not the fight I wanted to see. But nonetheless, it's good, right? The guy's jumping up supposedly 2 weight classes. I think it's 1. And he's going to be facing the fucking Crusher, who has proven that he's a true champion by getting back his championship belt twice, right? Twice. He's 3-time world champion. You can't fuck with that. The man's legit. So, I mean, you look at all that. No matter what, he manages to get the W. He got the heart. He got the soul. He got the skill. You know, he's with a great trainer. You know, Sergey Kovalev. This is going to be a fucking great fight because it's not going to be easy because Kovalev has got that power behind that jab. You know, he knows how to use that jab. Right? I'm selling the fight because, quite frankly, I don't even believe the shit I'm saying. You know, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, this dude is not no pushover. He proved it time and time again. Against Anthony Yarde, very skilled, you know, fighter. Yeah, he didn't have a whole lot of experience, but, you know, Tune Ajayi, you know, put that oomph in him. And so that brother, man, he was going for the kill. You know what I'm saying? But thanks to Sergey Kovalov's body punching and his great finishing touch in the 9th, 10th, and 11th rounds, he was able to stop fucking, Anthony Yarde. I'm going to go with y'all narrative. I mean, I don't believe shit I'm saying. But hey, that's what y'all say. Right? And that's what you guys believe. So, Canelo's too small for him, man. He's too small. Canelo pushing it too much. He's too small for Kovalev. Kovalev going to knock his ass out. Canelo has tank problems. Kovalev going to take advantage of that. That's why Kovalev telling him he's a true warrior. You look at Canelo standing next to Kovalev, you swear that Canelo is Kovalev's son. He's so fucking short compared to Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? How could Canelo ever beat Kovalev? Look at Kovalev. Kovalev head like twice the size of Canelo head. He fighting a giant. He not going to be able to take out Kovalev, man. Look at Kovalev, man. Look at his physique. The man is now doing the right things with his body. It's going to pay off. It's not going to be easy. Canelo going to try and drum to the body. He's going to realize he's drumming to abs of fucking steel. Look at Kovalev, man. Look at his definition, man. This man is going to tear apart Canelo. That's what's going to happen. Mike Alvarado, TBE. Salute to you, brother. You guys, I'm going to see you guys later. Peace. I'm out.